That means with the new type of law enforcement is this: you will never go into jail unless it's over murder, rape, or a certain amount of drug dealing. And what I mean by that, you would have to be pretty much almost a cartel king to go in to prison. Other than that, nobody goes to jail. That means many prisoners would be released under my authority. I would release almost all, the prisons would be pretty much empty. America and Russia have a problem with imprisonment. More people are imprisoned in Russia and America than any other country on the globe of the world. So if you look, how many people are in prison compared to China? America has more prisoners. We have a problem with imprisoning people over really nothing. And most prisoners that are in prison today are there over absolutely nothing. I would make sure most all the prisons were pretty much empty other than the death row people. And then I would go back to the death row people and order DNA tests, because there's been many people that have been killed on death row because they were innocent. Well, actually, they were just innocent in the first place, and they killed them for really nothing. When they went back and they did the DNA testing, they found out that these people were innocent. Talk to a guy named Echoes in Paradise Lost, a documentary. He was on death row for dyeing his hair black and listening to Metallica. And they put him on death row for dyeing his hair and listening to Metallica. His last name is Echoes. He wrote a book, a New York Times bestseller, and it was based upon the Paradise Lost documentary, which has been aired like on Netflix and things like that. All three of his friends were imprisoned for nothing, for absolutely nothing. So I would go through and investigate and pretty much release all the prisoners so that our country has the least amount of prisoners in it. That we would have actually no prisoners at all, really, other than the people that were 100% sure that are going to harm society. Oh, look, the guy's playing golf. Your judge playing golf while other people sit on death row and wait to be killed. There he is, enjoying life right there. He's a judge. And he's judging you. You know why? Because he's going to hell. My congestion is getting much better. Much better. It's a cool porch. All these melon mushroom things. Pretty cool drops. Thanks. Now, because we know that police officers are a harm to themselves and others, then if they continue to go to work, it's time for them to go to prison. Only the people can do this, okay? People can rise up, fight the law, and imprison police officers. They can put them in prison. Now, has this been done? Yes, it has. George Floyd was saved by people that had that. If people did not have their phones that day, George Floyd would be, well, he'd be nothing. He just wouldn't even be a name. Because of the fact that we have this, then police officers are going to prison because they're actually a harm to themselves and other people. They can harm you with just their presence. They can harass you. Now, don't allow them to do that. First, get their badge number. Second, go right now. Go get their badge number. The police officers that's harassing you, the police officers that are harassing you, get their badge number, okay? They're razzing you and harassing you. Also, get their association. Find out the police department that they work for. Find out if they're a real police officer. Also, get their rank. Find out their rank. That'll be held against them too. Also, find out their title and get that name. Their name is public information, and get it. And spread it around and let everybody know. Let the people know who the bully is. Let them know that you're being bullied. Okay? I'm tired of it myself. Now, I have to be honest with you. I fell into a speed trap in Carrollton. And this bully wrote me a ticket because I was on a bridge and I was going 30 miles per hour. And I went and got a lawyer. The lawyer bailed on me, and I had to spend about 17 hours or so in jail. And then I was released. Was I bullied? Yes. Were those police officers a harm to me and to themselves? Yes, they were. They were a harm, and all of them are in jail. Remember, police officers are very vain. So they like to be in the eyesight of media. If you're a media person, don't empower them. Don't let them be in front of your camera. But do get your information. Now, here's another thing. If you're a person, film them. Film them doing their corruption, but don't empower them. Don't say, oh, a hero today saved this cat out of a tree. No, they didn't. The neighbor did it, and the officer went in there and took advantage of it probably. Don't empower them. Empower the fire department. Empower someone else. Don't empower the bullies. Don't glamorize being a bully. So just, they don't exist. And if we close our eyes and we pretend they're not there, and then we open them, then they're gone. Okay, now that we know that police officers are corrupt, they are providing a 1-800 number and an app. There's actually an app now that the department's gonna have to release that you can report that badge number and the name of that officer and complain on them. And if they get enough complaints, they're out, okay? Complain on your officer and get them fired. Do it now. All right, got our memory device right here because we got a drink. And that's, I don't know, some kind of soda or something. And we're off to drop this at your doorstep. Sushi at your doorstep. The reason my father will burn in hell for all of eternity is because he did not use charity in his life, which is the most important thing listed in Corinthians. That we are to do things out of charity at all times. We're to give our shirts off the back to the other person, meaning we are to take our shirts off and give it to the person that needs it. We are not to behave like mafioso people, handcuffing them and locking them up against their will for something stupid. We are not to do that to people. We are to go the extra mile for people and act in charity. Charity is linked to money. That's why it's used in charity. If you don't have charity, you have nothing. So, if you don't give your money to other people, then you have nothing, and you are nothing. Without charity, you are nothing. Okay? So without charity, you are nothing. So my father will burn in hell because he cannot give to others. I sit down and talk to my father. He's like a little boy. Can a little boy burn in hell? If they don't ask Jesus in their heart and they understand who Jesus is, unfortunately. But you have to go to Christ as a child. He is like a little boy, but he calls himself a man. That's why he'll burn in hell. Going to hell is a very painful experience. Turn your badge and lethal sidearm in. And they're all the way from California. I support my local Cole. Protects his children. God protects those that follow him. So basically, if you follow Jesus Christ, you're royalty. You're above all. And always will be. That right there is the Swings. That's the Texas Swings. Saturday it should be open. Yep, it is. There is what is known as maybe Superman right there. And that is probably Batman right there. See? Batman and Superman. Batman and Superman. Batman and Superman. Batman and Superman. Isn't that cool? Here it is, the Titan. It's the Titan at Six Flags Over Texas, and it looks like a smooth one compared to the Giant. I think this is an ideal future roller coaster that's going to work out just great. Right over here to our left is the Old Derrick and the Giant. The Giant's a little rough one. I don't know if I'm going to go on that one again. There's the Titan, and then right next to that is Choctaw Stadium. And then right next to that is the AT&T Stadium. AT&T. It's a stadium. All right, so we're going to be pulling up to Six Flags. I used to work at Six Flags back in the early 90s. I worked at the... Well, okay. So it was the Hollywood Stunt Show. But right before that, there was a dolphin aquarium. Well, it wasn't really an aquarium. It was a dolphin show. It was a pool with dolphins in it. And then there was divers, and they hung out with the dolphins. Now, they did a whole show, and the dolphins got some kind of algae. Something happened. They went ahead and canceled it. They had it for many years. And they got rid of the dolphins, and then they brought in the Hollywood Stunt Show, and I got to hang out with stuntmen. And I was the counter and the usher, and they paid me to do it. But I got in trouble for getting nachos. I bought some nachos, and they didn't like that. And I climbed the fence. They didn't like me. Not this fence, but the Hollywood Stunt Show. There was a little small fence. It wasn't that big. They didn't like that either. And I bounced one of those magic balls inside one of the offices that inside. It broke one of the lights. So they just said, you know, that's dangerous. I was like, well, these guys are jumping 50 feet from the air onto these pads. Don't you think that's dangerous too? I'm like, nah, we're going to go in a different direction. But anyway, this was Six Flags. My friend was Batman. His name was Lamar Wilson. He played Batman. Jessica played Catwoman. There's a Batman sign, and there it is right there, the Joker. I gotta spin back around and find this place. It's tucked in. It's a little on the border, tucked in the side. There it is, the one and only Six Flags Over Texas. And Judge Roy Bean was written by John Milius. It's a script. Paul Newman took on the role of Judge Roy Bean. This is known as Judge Roy Scream. Don't know if it's running today. It may be a little old. But I saw a test run one time when I drove by. I think I got it on footage. Joker's running. So, same thing with the Riddler and Batman. Batman and Superman. They're all running. through the Magic Mile. Supposedly it's supposed to be down this road right here. I didn't see it the first time that I passed. I don't think I see it then. Okay. Love in marriage, they go together like a horse and carriage. There's a little trolley that they have here. They have a trolley. There goes the giant. Hi. Actually, holiday, it's my cousin that's going to hell because he's Catholic. He laughs about it, but he's also an alcoholic and a drunk and needs help. Both of them do. They're both going to prison. And when he goes to prison, he's not going to be able to see his kids anymore.